Hello, everybody. I'm Fishman. I love software. Had to come up with something, y'all. Yes, I'm the same guy on Fishman Loves Linux, but we're going to be doing, this is my channel where I do non-Linux stuff. So, on with the show. I hope y'all are having a great day. I've been on kind of a nostalgic flashback type thing with Windows. The last one that I did, I believe, was Windows 3.1. So today, I am going to show you this. Yep, I'm sure y'all remember this. These are the box covers or the packages for Windows ME Millennium Edition and Windows 2000 Professional. Basically, I'm not going to get into the history right now because I have to read it. I can't memorize this stuff anymore. But as I'm looking at my memory, what little bit I have, I believe that 2000 Professional came out first. I'm not really sure. And then ME came out. I know ME came out September of 2000. So, in the Millennial Edition, which some people have dubbed the Mistake Edition, I believe it was ZDNet or PC World, one of them in their article had dubbed ME as a Mistake Edition. The popularity with Windows ME is just like with Vista when it came out. Very, very poor. Okay? Now, I know a guy who really loves Windows ME. He thinks it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But on a professional level, I must say that Windows ME, in its day, when it first came out, the reason why a lot of people had issues with the hardware and software is because the machine they're trying to stick it on. It wasn't an OEM version that it came from the factory with the machine as much as it was trying to put it on a Windows 98 machine. Okay? The hardware on the Windows 98 machine couldn't deal with the kernel, and thus, if you can't deal with the kernel modifications, it can't deal with the entire system. And of course, you got to remember too that these two are the last of the 9X series for Windows. Okay? The 9X series ends with these two guys right here. Now, there is a Windows 2000, but I can't find it. All I could ever find is Windows 2000 Professional. Everybody called Windows 2000 Pro, and it was really good for business. Man, was it good for business. It still is good for business. A lot of people are saying, oh, you got to go to Windows 10. Well, I'm here to tell you, you don't have to go to Windows 10. Okay? I mean, I am so tired of hearing, you got to do this, you got to do that. Whatever happened to the user's choice? You know, you buy a piece of software, you want to use it, and it's your choice what software you're going to want to use, right? Now, we all have to take in consideration the hardware configuration. We all have to take in consideration, is it still supported by Microsoft? You know, you have to think about these things. Now, I am going to tell you that the hubbub is right now that pretty soon, I'm not sure when, but Windows 7 and Windows 8 and 8.1 are going to be discontinued. Okay? This is the talk. I'm not saying it's facts. It's just talk right now. And what I'm hearing is not good. Because if everybody's going to be stuck with Windows 10, then you might as well get it and get used to using it on your machine. If your machine cannot run Windows 10. I know people that are running XP, they're running XP right now to this day, even without support. So, you know, is it possible to run an operating system without support? For a time there is. You can still go to websites, YouTube and stuff, and, you know, surf and geek your heart out. But there's going to be a time when these websites are going to stop accepting people that are running browsers that have a base or origin of XP on it, you know, and it's just going to come to that time when we got to say goodbye to an old friend. You know, it's not just a piece of software. XP, Windows 2000 Pro, they're old friends, People don't want to say goodbye to them because they love it. And they don't want to have to give it up. But at the same token, I know people who love Windows 7. I love Windows 7. I think Windows 7 is great. But the problem is that the powers that be and some other yahoos don't really like Windows 7 of any flavor. They're like, Windows 7. Well, it's like this. It's a matter of personal preference on top of personal opinion. But these are the boxes that the CD came in, or was it CDs or DVD? Yeah, CDs. That the CDs came in. See, my memory is really shot. But we're going to take a deeper look at ME. And I'm using Wikipedia. Don't laugh too hard. And Wikipedia is, fairly accurate. I'm not sure where these stories come from. I think somebody is going and getting them, see citation needed and stuff. But it seems pretty accurate to me. Windows ME is called Windows Millennium Edition, marketed with the pronunciation of the pronoun me, but commonly pronounced as an initialism ME. Is a graphical operating system for Microsoft released to manufacturing in June of 2000 and launched in September 2000. It was the last operating system released in the Windows 9X series. Excuse me. Windows ME was the successor to Windows 98 and was targeted specifically at home PC users. It included Internet Explorer 5.5, woohoo! Windows Media Player 7, and the new Windows Movie Maker software, which provided basic video editing and was designed to be easy to use for home users. Wow. Anything but that. Microsoft also updated the graphical user interface, shell features, and Windows Explorer in Windows ME with some of those first introduced in Windows 2000. Okay, Windows 2000 came out first. Okay, obviously. Which had been released as a business-oriented operating system 7 months earlier. Okay, there it is. Windows ME could be upgraded to Internet Explorer 6 of Service Pack 1, but not to Service Pack 2, SV1. I don't know what the SV, I've been trying to figure that out. Somebody knows, put it in the comments, let me know too. Or Internet Explorer 7. Okay, it couldn't do it. It can't do it. It goes high as IE6, and that's it, folks, with Service Pack 1. Outlook Express 6, Service Pack 1. Everything's Service Pack 1 now. And Windows Media Player 9 Series. Woo! Now we're cooking with beans and no gas. Microsoft .NET Framework up to and including version 2.0 is supported. However, versions 2.0 Service Pack 1, 3.x, and greater are not. Office XP was the last version of Microsoft Office to be compatible with Windows ME. That's good to know because I have Office XP. I just got to remember where I put it. Okay. So far, what we've learned is that this is the last of Windows 9X series. There's going to be no more of that kernel. After this is the NT kernel. Okay? And I know I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but my memory is being stimulated by what I'm reading. So, we're learning that this is going to be the last of it. So this is supposed to be the magnus opus of Microsoft for this series, but it didn't quite turn out that way with the users. The consumers have different thoughts on this. Let me finish this up. Windows ME is a continuation of the Windows 9X model. See, I already told you that. But with restricted access to real mode MS-DOS. in order to decrease system boot time. This was one of the most unpopular changes in Windows ME because applications that needed real mode DOS to run, such as older disk utilities, did not run under Windows ME, although the system could either be booted into real mode DOS using a bootable Windows ME floppy disk. Oh my God. Or the configuration could be tweaked manually to re-enable access to the underlying MS-DOS. Now, let me say something. If you're going to play DOS games, then build you a virtual box of MS-DOS and do the games that way. Okay? This way you don't have to worry about all this mess here. You just do the games that way. But the problem you're going to run across is a small screen. Okay? With a small screen, it's hard for me to see. You know, I got bifocals on, guys and gals, so you got to remember I'm wearing bifocals, and trying to look at, you know, animation on a small screen is going to be like, oh man, like Doom. I played Doom last night in Windows ME. I tried to, and I had to go into God mode or degreeless mode, and because I kept getting killed. You know, I didn't have the action that I wanted. So, with that in mind, I would suggest either installing, you build a box with Windows 98 or Windows 95. You know, I use Windows 98 SC in a box. You know, not now, but I will be because I want to play my DOS games. So, you know, we look at it that way. In case you're wondering, I will not be discussing or answering questions about Linux on this channel. So please refrain from asking here. Go to my other channel about all Linux questions. I'm just saying that right now. Okay. So you can read this. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll put this link in the show notes for you guys to read if you're interested. And it'll show you about the memory, you know, the specs, the system requirements for running ME. Let's look at that right quick. CPU, Pentium 150 megahertz to Pentium 2 with 300 megahertz. Your memory, 32 meg to 64 megabytes. That's what it says it's recommended. I'm running 128 megabytes. Wow. I'm being cynical, I know. Hard drive size, 320 megabytes to 2 gig. I think I've got 8 gig on it. And media, CD or DVD drive, 3.5 inch floppy drive. I miss the days when I could use a floppy though, because floppies were a lot easier for me to store. And I know you're thinking, why don't you put it in the cloud? Well, because I don't like using the cloud and depending on the cloud, because the cloud one day will not be there, and neither will my stuff. All the stuff you put in that cloud, if something happens, it fails. All your stuff in that cloud is going to be gone. I don't care what anybody tells you. If they're trying to tell you, oh no, you can retrieve that stuff, they're out of their mind. Because, I mean, hey, to have that stuff going back to you after they shut down or whatever is like saying, really? That's like saying I'm going to the grocery store and I'm keeping the groceries and you're going to give me back my money. Really? Think about that. At any rate, I miss the days of having the floppy drives. Now, I started out, the floppies were 8 inches. We had 8-inch floppies, then they went to 5 1/4, then the plastic 3 1/2. And I'm tell you what, man, it was a big difference between 3 1/2 inch and that 8 inch. We used to play frisbee it was dangerous frisbee because it had sharp corners. But we'd play frisbee with the 8 inchers, and we'd get out in the parking lot and throw them back and forth to us at lunchtime. Hey, we had a blast. Display, minimum of VGA, recommended SVGA, and for those that don't know what it means, Super VGA is what the S stands for. Video capture device for Windows Movie Maker. Okay, Windows Movie Maker, well, it was okay for slideshows, but I don't like it as much as I do OpenShot Video Editor. And I was introduced to OpenShot through another operating system. Sound hardware, sound card, speakers, or headphones. Microphone for Windows Movie Maker. Okay, enough of that. Network, minimum, none. Okay, recommended 56.6 kbps, kilobits per second. Modem or faster with current internet connection. It can connect to your Ethernet card too, if you have the driver installed. And I'm going to show you something on the virtual machine that a lot of people are using now. They don't tell you about it first, but then you run across, you'll run across this one video that says, use this, and you can get all these drivers. Well, you get some of the drivers, not all of them. Input device, mouse or compatible pointing device. What about the keyboard? Don't you need a keyboard? It says it doesn't say keyboard. Lacking. Recommended mouse and keyboard. Okay. Windows ME is not designed to handle more than 512 megabytes of RAM by default. Systems with larger RAM pools may lose stability. However, depending on the hardware and software configurations. Hey, they're quoting me. It is sometimes possible to manually tweak the installation to continue working with somewhat larger amounts of RAM as well. Systems with 1.5 gigabyte of RAM or more may reboot continuously during startup. Remember, if you put 2 gigs of RAM on that bad boy in the virtual machine, it keeps rebooting, you'll know why. Just keep it 120. If it recommends 128 megabytes, that's what I would use. If you want to use more, 256, yeah, that would be a little faster. But don't go over 512 meg. I wouldn't. So, we're going to look at an article right quick. This is ZDNet. And this article was written by a guy named Ed Bott, for the Ed Bott Report, March 15th, 2007. Now, okay, this was written 7 years after the fact. Almost 7 years exactly. It's March, September. Okay, but anyway, right now it's been almost 17 years since this product had came out. And of course it's an obsolete edition of Windows. But the thing is, when this came out, it's been out 7 years. Check this out. The guy titled this, I hate ads, the best and worst Windows versions ever. By my count, Microsoft has released at least 10 distinct versions of Windows since 1990. Some evoke fond memories, some not so much. Which version was the best and which was the worst? Hint, they were released within a year of each other. Read my ratings and then add your own. Okay. He talks about all this stuff. But you noticed Windows 1.0 or 1.1 and 2.0 are not present for obvious reasons. They start out with 3.3.x and then they go to NT 95. It don't even talk about 3.11, which was pretty good. Oh yeah, it does right here. Anyway, we are looking at Windows ME. ME gets a 1 out of possible 8 or 10 or whatever it is. It's rated as 1. I'm surprised it don't have a negative sign in front of it. Okay, there's a reason why. The first time ME came across me. I had to try to put it on a Windows 98 machine. My boss says, I can't afford a new machine, and I got the software. Will it work on this machine? I don't know. It's got the same basic kernel, but Windows ME's kernel's been modified. I don't know how much. I haven't been keeping up because I'm busy working. Okay. He says, the worst Windows version ever. He hasn't tried to use Vista yet, has he? When Vista first came out, we had the same exact problem. Okay? Before they fixed the bugs and told everybody buy new machines and stuff, people couldn't afford new machines. Remember this, people. So, when ME came out, people are using Windows 98 machines. Those machines were expensive. People didn't have that kind of money just lying around. So what they did, he's saying that the worst Windows version ever and doomed from the start. It was announced as the end of its line. It had to contend with Y2K fears. Ooh, the Y2K bug. Woo-hoo. You know? And it was buggier than a 4th of July picnic on a Mississippi River boat. That's pretty buggy, y'all. The only feature that saved it from a zero is System Restore, which worked often enough to be useful, if not dependable. Okay. So System Restore was the application that actually saved this from being a zero. The zero, okay. So, you know, that's his opinion. But this is what I hear from a lot of techs, a lot of technicians, especially like me. I've been doing this about, 41 years now. Almost 41 years I've been dealing with technology. Doing computers, software, and all that good stuff. And I'm going to tell you right now that whenever somebody hurry up and releases a piece of software, it's really not going to be all that great. So that might be the problem with Windows ME. Now, I know a young man who thinks it's the greatest thing since sliced bread and all that. I told you about him earlier. Well, if he sees this video, which I hope he does, he's going to learn that Windows ME is not as good as he thought it was. He might have got a machine, brand new machine, that came with OEM version of Windows ME. Okay? But I don't know. You know, only he knows that. So, we're going to crank up the VMware and see how it's looking. Now, with the kernel EX, I got it to run fairly decent. I got to do that. Y'all try to run this, y'all try running this on Mac. I'm tell you what, man. In VMware, in VirtualBox, it's a trip running it. It was like, wow. Come on. I knew you could do it, dude. Just to get it to this right here, the login screen. Sometimes I have to play with my mouse, left click it a few times to get it up to this point. Now, in Windows 98, even with a password, I can click OK and it still goes in. I wonder if it do it with this one. No, it doesn't. They fixed that bug. First bug they fixed in security. So I have to put in my password, hit enter. There it is, folks. That sound that you have not heard in a long time. Like I said, this piece of software is almost 17 years old. 17. That's quite a long time to run a piece of software. Versus the XP rave, everybody's like, I don't want to give up XP. I love my XP machine. What's wrong with you people? 32-bit, what's wrong with that? Why y'all want to go 64? I know some friends of mine overseas in different countries, they're dirt poor. They cannot afford to go with a 64-bit machine, so they have to use a 32-bit. And one of them's got a machine that came with Windows ME, and he's running a different operating system. He told me, he said, anybody who thought Windows ME was great has to be nuts. He says, I had nothing but problems with it. Brand new machine that came with it. And I said, you're like MC Hammer, can't touch that. I ain't going to. But anyway, this background I chose, it was gray when I booted it up the first time. I had made some improvements on it. It was tough. It took me a couple of days to figure this out. And the reason why is because not all executable files work on this silly thing. Okay? And there's a big jump from today's executables to executables back then. Now let's go back and imagine, the Y2K scares going on. If you don't do something, your computer is screwed, because it's not going to be able to go past the year 2000. Bullcrap. That was a bullcrap scare. It was a rumor that took off and scared the crap out of everybody. I mean, I didn't get scared, but I know a lot of my friends were freaking out. Oh my! And after they learned the truth from me, and they were able to look and prove that I was right, they bought me a little stuffed animal. It looks like a bug, and it said Y2K on it. Had a little party hat on it and stuff. It was a little green-looking bug. And it was wearing clothes, of course, Santa clothes, and it had Y2K across its chest, little party hat with a party favor in its mouth. And I had that thing for a long time, and I don't know what happened. It just disappeared eventually. But can we get on the internet with Internet Explorer 5.5? Let's see. I changed the home page. Now it says Internet Explorer 5.5 is currently not your default browser. No, I don't want it to be. It sucks. But anyway, it looks nice, don't it? Let's sign in. Let's see about that. Oh my God. Really? The page cannot be displayed yet. It can display this page, but when you click here, it can't display that one. So, this is the problem with going online with Windows ME. Period. Okay. So it says that you can't go above IE6, and IE6 cannot get on a lot of sites still. Therefore, let's use my Firefox. This is Firefox 10 ESR, the extended service one. Oh, well, this is embarrassing. I know, you do it. It does this all the time when I'm trying to download something. And boom. Yes, I'm signed in and everything. Aha! How about that? But let's try. Now, we got 128 megabytes of RAM. Should I try to go watch a YouTube video? Okay. Some of y'all will say, yeah, sure, do it. I'm going to explain something to you about YouTube. It's not... With that kind of RAM, I doubt very seriously if it's going to be able to watch a video. Plus the kernel, even with the modifications. Oh, it froze. Lovely. Yep, it does that. It freezes. So, when it does that, it just got to end the task. It really sucks I got to do that. But anyway, let's look at the media player and see what it looks like. Oh, cool. It won't get on the internet, but you can still play your music on here. Let's go to the media library and see what we get. Yeah, whatever. All drives, dude. I forgot I hadn't done this yet. Sorry, guys and gals. Close. Let's see. Do we have anything? No. No audio. Oh, we do have something. Okay, that's that. What's this one? Same damn thing. One says Beck, the other one says Beautiful Way Beck. I didn't see no difference, but it plays nonetheless. And I got a treat for you guys. Some people could not find the hidden, so-called hidden, I think it's under entertainment, Windows Millennium Edition preview. Here it is. It's got the media player, and I'll let y'all watch it. This is from Microsoft, everybody. There you have it. Windows ME by Microsoft. Sorry, I turned it up a little bit for y'all that can't really hear it. And it gives you a little menu here. You go and look at stuff. You know, play over these different parts, I guess. Try it and learn it. It's a tutorial. So, there is the famous hidden video. It was everybody said it was a secret and all that crap. Well, if you really explore your software, you will find it. It's under accessories, under entertainment, and there it is. Kind of hard to miss. So under system tools, the usual suspects are here. You got disk cleanup and disk defragmenter and maintenance wizard, scan disk, scheduled task, system information. Let's look at that. And it's coming up. Please, it's preparing. Now, remember, this is getting the internet through my Ethernet card. Let's see here what we got. OS, Microsoft Windows, version 4.90.3000, build 3000. OS manufacturer, Microsoft Corporation. System name, Fishman. System manufacturer, VMware. It's a virtual machine, what do you expect? But it does get to tell you my Intel Celeron processor chip and which one it is at frequency, 2.70 gigahertz, genuine Intel. So it goes on and tells you a lot of this crap, Total virtual memory is 1.10 gigabytes, which I don't know where it's getting all that from. The physical memory is 128. It's using 126.45 megabytes. And there you have it. And you can go over here and look at the hardware resources, components. You can look at different components and stuff. Your network. I guess you got to go to the adapter. Refreshing system info. Come on. There you go. It takes it a minute. Dial-up adapter. AMD PC Net family. See, here's my Ethernet. And got WinSock and all that crap. So we go back. You can look at storage. You look at USB. I cannot get a USB device to work on this because it's having issues. I will show you what they are. And it's probably, I don't know why the issue is. I guess because I can't get the updates. I'm not going to bother, but the PCI system peripheral driver is missing. And PCI universal serial bus USB is missing. So that's why I can't connect USB to it. Although I try. I did for a little bit, but then it just... I rebooted and it just went crazy. And it said, oh, you ain't got this driver. I can't do this. I'm not supposed to. Well, there you have it. So, in any rate, I was playing around with stuff in the games, and I added some games to it. And you got Classic Hearts, Solitaire, Free Cell, Internet Backgammon, Checkers, Hearts, Reverse C Spades, and you got Minesweeper. I added Pinball. Love Pinball. Spider Solitaire. Then here is the Kernel EX stuff, which isn't much. You got a wiki, homepage, release notes. You can uninstall it or verify installation. Microsoft Games, I got a trial of Pandora's Box. Online services, America Online. AT&T WorldNet Service. Earthlink Internet Services. A lot of you guys and gals that are out there that are watching this video are not going to remember these. And ones that do are going to be like, wow, that was a long time ago. Especially Prodigy Internet. I remember all of them. And I've used AOL and I have used Prodigy before. Nothing in the startup, Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Outlook. Let's look at the Outlook Express. Oh, Outlook Express 5. Oh my God. Yes, get out of it. Here we go. About it. Microsoft Outlook Express 5, 5.50. It seems like it really likes this version number 5.50. Then you got a bunch of other numbers. And it tells you all kinds of stuff, this, that, and the other. All the DLLs that it's using, which is pretty cool. But they don't make stuff like that anymore. And then I believe that's it. I did not put an Office on here. I couldn't do it. There was no way for me to get the software on here except by having the real actual disk, and I'm having a hard time locating that disk. So sorry about that. Maybe I'll do a video where I'm actually put that in there. Under documents, you got all this stuff here, and it shows you past documents you've opened and worked with. Okay. Control panel. Let's look at the control panel for all you freaks and geeks out there. Originally, it looked like this. Then I did that. And I like it like this. Some people like the display, they want to see the categories like this. I personally like it like this. I guess it's because I'm geeky that way. You've got all your options right here laid out before you. User options. You got VMware tools right here. Telephony for your dial-up. Whoa. Those days are over. Taskbar and startup menu. You got the system. Sounds and multimedia. Scheduled tasks. Scanners and cameras. Regional settings. Printers. Power option. Passwords. ODBC data sources for 32-bit. Networking. Mouse. Modems. Oh. Telephony works with your modem then. Okay. Keyboard. Internet options. Gaming options. Fonts. Folder options. Display. Dial-up networking. Ugh. Date time. Automatic updates. Add remove programs. Add new hardware. Accessibility options. And that's it for that. Well, I appreciate you watching. I'm sorry it took so long to do this, but I had to watch this when it shuts down all the bars. Fast, I know. It's like, oh my God. And of course, my webcam went kaputs. But at least I got my mic on. Thank you again for watching. I hope you liked it. I hope you found it entertaining and informative. If you do, share it with your family and friends, please. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, as I probably have a lot of subscribers on this channel yet. I know I neglected this channel, but I promise you, more content is to come. It's not going to be a whole lot, but it's going to be more than what I've been doing. Thanks again for watching. Please come back and check out the new content. I will be doing Windows 2000 Professional soon. Remember, people are more important than software. I'm glad you're coming to watch this channel over here too. I shall see y'all sometime in the near future.